Getting through finals. Today's our last day of finals. Practice this afternoon around 3:30. The guys will lift today, and then another group will lift tomorrow. And today we'll do a lot more of our core stuff with us, just trying to get better as a team. And then Friday and Saturday move closer to really preparing for Memphis. A very good basketball team, great environment down there. They're coming off a very good win at Miami. They've played a tough schedule, being out in Maui with Georgetown, Tennessee, and Michigan. So, we won't come in and surprise them. They'll be ready and focused. With our record and us getting a lot of exposure and notoriety, we're not going to come in there and surprise them. They'll be very prepared.
Any questions?
What's the biggest challenge you face Sunday?
Just continue to do what we've been doing. I think just making sure we stay within the concepts of what we want to do, both offensively and defensively. This will be the toughest crowd we've played in front of. It's a great environment. When I was at Tulane, I played there. I remember being just in the pyramid when I was in college, and not playing Memphis, but just it's a great atmosphere at the FedEx Forum, and the fans. It'll be, I'm sure, a great crowd. But just the crowd, being able to make sure we limit their runs. They're very, you hear the word spurtability, but they get a lot of, easy baskets in transition, kind of some run outs. And making sure we limit those baskets and make them have to play in the half court, and making sure the biggest thing is making sure they don't score off any of our offensive mistakes and off our turnovers.
Talking about limiting their runs, sounds like you'd like to slow the tempo just a little bit against them.
I don't know if we want to say slow the tempo. I mean, we want to get ball reversals. I think shot selection is a big key when you're going down there and you're playing a very good basketball team on the road. But I don't, we're not going to go down there and be passive at all. I don't think that's what makes our team successful. Shot selection and playing fast is two different things. So I don't know if that's, we want to go down there. We want to be disciplined. We want to have good shot selection. We want to make good decisions. But we just don't want them to score off our turnovers. If we're going to turn the basketball over, we need to throw it in the stands. We don't need to throw it from me to you and get a deflection, give them an easy basket. We need them to score against our defense every trip, against a 5-on-5 defense, not a 3-on-1 or not a 2-on-0.
Talk about the length that you're going to face with Memphis. I know they're long all over the floor.
Yeah, their length and athleticism is what makes them very good. Will Barton he was great the other night against Miami, 20-something points, double-figure rebounds. He's a tough matchup for us because his size and his length and athleticism. Joe Jackson is a smaller guard, but is quick and as athletic as anybody in the country. So what we like, our strength, I think, is their strength. And so we've got to do a better job being more disciplined, being stronger with the basketball, screening better, making tighter cuts. And, everything we've done now, we've got to raise it up a level.
A lot of the focus has been on your guards, these 9 games. What are you expecting out of your post players, especially at Daniel?
They got to rebound and defend. Black and Simpson, they kind of sub in and out for each other in the post. But they play 4 guards. Wesley Witherspoon starts at the 4 for them, but he's really a versatile big forward/guard. He can play really anywhere on the perimeter for them. So the one thing, if you look at Memphis' stats, though, they've been getting out-rebounded. So we've got to do a good job offensive rebounding. Ed, Ivan, Brandon, Latrez, and Juwan. Juwan, really, I think he's our offensive leading us in offensive rebounds. And then defensively, though, when they miss, we've got to box out and rebound. We can't give them second-chance opportunities if we're able to make them miss from 3 or with pull-up jump shots or whatever it may be. We've got to rebound the basketball, and we've got to get it inside and look to score around the basket and attack the paint and get to the free throw line and finish those opportunities.
Ed's averaging 20 minutes as a starter, and a lot of that's foul trouble. How do you coach him out of that propensity to foul?
Just he's been doing it for 2.5 years now, so I just think hopefully he can continue to mature. He's a very good help defender, and sometimes when he's in help, he overhelps sometimes or maybe gambles. But the thing about Ed, he'll take 2-3 charges a game. The game against Southern Miss is how I wish he could play. If you could bottle that, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 charges. That was that was a high-level performance by him. And I just think you got to continue to talk to Ed about being consistent in every area of his life and on the court, academically, whatever it may be. And he's doing fine in those areas, but just talking about being consistent, and hopefully that stuff will come. But he's been foul prone, all the time, but he came out, I think, about the 16-minute mark against Dayton. But the best thing, I thought he was in the game and focused the rest of the way. But Trez, was able to give us some good minutes, and Brandon as well in the second half.
Going back and watching the replay of the game, Coach, I was actually surprised how well Ed played in the first half.
The Dayton game?
Dayton.
Yeah, he's defended. Yeah, I think.
Five possessions where he was responsible for turnovers.
Yeah, he's our best post defender. He'll always match up with the best opposing post player. He's up the line. He knows he can really hedge ball screens. He can fly around. He's a tremendous athlete. He's very smart. He's very knowledgeable. He knows everything we do on the floor. He has a really good feel for it. And he gets overshadowed sometimes about whether he played well or whether he didn't play well, because everybody looks at the statistical part of the game. And he's up the line. He's getting some deflections, hands-on balls, taking charges, and he's going to have to defend well because Simpson and Black are both physical presences around the basket.
You guys are completely flying under the radar now. So just talk a little bit about the mental side and how you guys are preparing for Memphis in front of the huge crowds.
We're just preparing for Memphis. I haven't talked to our team about our record. We've gotten some exposure this week, or some attention this week, which is good, but we've got a long way to go with this basketball team. So I want to continue to keep them grounded and keep them focused just solely on Memphis right now, and just continue to finish out this first half of the year on a positive note. They've been good. They've handled everything well. They've been even keel about everything. They understand what's in front of them because everybody knows they follow the game. They know Memphis is very good. But I asked the guys yesterday, I said, did you watch them play? Yeah, we watched the game. Well, what do we need to do to be successful? And they're all on the same page. Shot selection, discipline, rebound, get back in transition. So it's not a hype game, it's a substance game. And we got to have our core values intact that on Sunday.
Kind of on the same note, Coach, I was reading on ESPN this morning before I came in that Andy Katz and a few of the other experts are actually picking you guys to upset. What are your thoughts on that?
That's good. I mean, we're getting respect, and the guys are slowly deserving it. Some people talk about, well, who have they beat? Who have they beat? That. Well, follow Dayton. They beat Bama last night. Follow Southern Miss. See what they've done. They beat New Mexico State twice. Who's won at New Mexico? So I think we're playing well now. I think we've got a good basketball team, but we've got to continue to strive to get better, and this is a great opportunity. You're not going to come in and sneak up on Memphis. They'll be ready, so we're going to get their best shot, and we've got to be ready to roll.
Any concern about how your players will handle the atmosphere down there?
I'll talk to them about it. That's my job. I got to handle the atmosphere well. I got to make sure I'm composed and send that signal to our guys. I don't need to get rattled and flustered and put that on them and let them get rattled and flustered. And I'll talk to them about that Saturday night.
Coach, you've been pleased with your defensive play so far this point of the season?
Defensively, we've been good. We just got to get better at containing the dribble. I think sometimes we get out in pressure so much, we lose sight of the basketball, we start hugging our man. Something we'll talk about the next 3 days, especially against Memphis. We're not going to back off and guard them any differently. We're going to pressure the basketball, but we got to make sure we're up the line and giving better help. And that's the areas we got to do a better job of is helping defend the basketball and keeping it out of the paint.